Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mike Lewis here. Hey, listen, I have a question for you. How are you managing the opinions of other people about you? Yeah, how are you managing the opinions of other people concerning you? Listen, years ago I learned, and this may, be new to some folks. This may not be new to some folks, but years ago I learned that everybody that you come across in your life at some point, they won't be on your team. Right? You're going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs. You're going to have some good days, and you're going to have some not so good days. The question, however, is how are you dealing with the criticism and the hate that comes as a result of you going through those good days and you going through those bad days? I want to talk to you guys about something that a concept or a thought that came across my mind. I was having a conversation with a young man the other day, and he was just distraught. He was stressed out and just really bummed out about a current conversation that he had with one of his family members. You know, he was going into a new business venture, and his family member was telling him, that would never work. It didn't work for me. And, why would you do something like that? Why would you get involved in one of those things, right? And so, he was just telling me about how out of all people, he would think that this particular family member would kind of have his back. And so I asked him a question. I says, well, is what they saying about you true? Right? Is it valid? Is what people say about you valid? And I have that question for you. Is it valid what people say about you? Maybe somebody's watching this right now, and maybe you just a few minutes ago, or maybe, as you're watching this video, someone is behind you right now talking about what you coulda, shoulda, woulda done, and what you will never be in life. Listen, I think everyone that understands this have experienced this at some point in life. And so think about this, though. Think about this. I asked the question. I said, is it valid? He said, well, no, it's not true. I said, so why are you so distressed about it? And here's the thought that came across my mind. Is it valid, or does it serve as validation? Now, some of you may be looking at this video or listening to this right now and say, well, what's the difference, Mike? I mean, you sound crazy, right? I get it. Now, here's the deal. In order to make sense out of what I want to share with you, let me read the definition of valid for you real quick. Valid says, or valid is having a sound basis in logic or fact. It means reasonable or cogent. So now here's the deal. When I ask you the question, is it valid or is it validation? What I mean is this. Again, what people say about you, the critics or whatever it is that people say about you, the hate that comes your way, is it true about you what people say? Is it true? And if it's not true, why do you allow it to take root in you? Right? Now, you can look at this one or two ways. One, you can look at it again like it's valid information. What they're saying about you is true. Or you can look at it as validation, simply meaning that you use it as a benchmark to confirm within yourself that you're on the right track. I've learned this years ago. Everybody's not on your team. And so with that comes an also responsibility to really just move forward in the midst of certain hard times, those ups and downs that everybody go through. And I know it sounds crazy. It's easier said than done. I get it. But I want to share with you a few things that I've learned along the way that helps me serve, or that allows me to take every brick that people throw at me, theoretically speaking, and I use that as validation that Mike is on the right track. And so the first thing that I want to share with you is this. The best thing to say when someone is coming against you sometimes is not to say anything at all. I found that people become more frustrated trying to get me upset than it takes for them to actually, the time frame that it takes for them to actually get me upset. It takes a lot to get to me. And I'm not saying I'm invincible. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but I have learned how to overcome a lot of the criticism and a lot of the hate and a lot of the things that people say about me. And what happens as a result of that is they get so stressed out in trying to offend me that they just pretty much just back off and they go somewhere else. And so a lot of times I don't even have to say anything. I just sit there and I let people talk, do what they do, right? Because I don't allow them to validate who I am. In other words, I just simply use it and I speak within myself and I say, look, it's just validation that I'm on the right track. If no one's talking about you, you're not doing anything. Seriously, I mean, think about it. If no one's talking about you, then you're not doing anything. So in other words, do something, right? And allow people to talk about you in a different way. Now, here's the second thing that I would ask you to do if you are going to allow what people say about you to serve as validation. That is, remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. Look, you don't have to convince people that you're on the right track. So many people get so bogged down by trying to prove themselves to other people. I don't look to prove myself to anybody. I simply express who I am on the inside, and as a result, it influences other people to become who they were designed to be. So listen, you hear me say it all the time. When you're living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. And so you have to remind yourself on a daily basis sometime, or on a weekly basis. It really depends on, how often this criticism is coming to you, but you have to remind yourself on a daily basis, why are you pursuing what you're pursuing? What is your goal? Why are you doing this? And that why is going to keep you motivated when you don't feel like moving forward. All right. Third thing is, let your work speak for yourself. A lot of times, again, we're trying to impress people. Let your work influence people. People eventually will want to get to know, what is it that you're doing? There's something that's changing about you, and how can I be a part of that? Again, you're not looking to prove anybody wrong, but what you are doing is you're just simply expressing who you really are. So let your work speak for itself, okay? Fourth thing, be intentional about improving yourself on a daily basis. Listen, you looking at an individual, you listen to an individual right now that I wouldn't crack open a book at some point in my life, only because, or the only time I cracked open a book is when I had to do it for a school or for subject or anything like that. Listen, now I feel like I'm missing something if I don't read every single day, or listen to a good audio, or just immerse in information. And so I'm going to challenge you to be intentional, be routine about, have a routine about developing yourself on an ongoing basis. It will help you tremendously as you're dealing with this validation from other people. Number 5, force yourself. Now, this one can be tough. Force yourself to be around high-level thinkers. Listen, depending on how long you've been dealing with this criticism, it's easy sometimes to take what people say as our own. In other words, we take the opinions that people have of us and we allow it to become our own opinion of ourselves, or our self-perception of ourselves. And one of the easiest, I don't want to say easiest, one of the most effective things to do is to get around people that think on a higher level than you. Because again, it's no secret, it's the truth. Listen, you become like the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So why not get away from those who are trying to bombard you and criticize you and pull you back down, and get around those individuals that inspire you to get higher in life, and inspire you by pulling you up and say, hey, listen, I've been through what you've been through, but let me help you get through it. There's a way to overcome this thing. So get around high level thinkers. And again, this is a challenge sometimes, because self-perception, if you have low self-perception, then a lot of times you feel that you're unworthy to be around these individuals. I had to deal with that myself. And I'm telling you, it's not until you get around other people that think on a higher level than you that you will begin to elevate in your thinking and eventually change your life. The Bible says that we become transformed, or to be renewed, or transformed by the renewing of our minds. And so we have to be around an environment and to actually expand our thinking and to see ourselves much higher than what the critics are saying. All right. And then, of course, the last point that I want to share with you is increase your level of serving others. Now, that sounds crazy. I get it. Increase your level of serving others. What does this do? This puts you in the mindset of being in a consistent state of gratitude. Okay. Everything may not be to your liking right now, right? Everything is not peaches and cream for me, right? At all times. But I want you to understand this. I'm grateful for the experience that I do have. I'm grateful for what I do have. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with my family, with my friends and business partners. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with you, right? And so be grateful. And one of the sure ways to do this is to always be in a state of serving people. Increase your activity in serving people, okay? And I promise you, you will just feel better as a result of giving something to someone without expecting anything in return, okay? So again, people are going to talk. I promise you that people are going to talk as you are pursuing your dreams and your goals in life. People are going to talk, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, it can even be a negative spouse. Listen, people are going to talk, but instead of allowing it to serve as a valid point for you and to serve as truth for you, allow it now to become or transform that to become a validation that says I'm on the right track. All right. So hopefully this short video actually helps someone out there. Listen, I'm interested in hearing your comments. If you had something that you took away from this video, comment below or comment above wherever you're looking at it. I don't know. I'm gonna post it on pretty much all kind of sites, but comment below and let me know what you think. I want to hear about what you're going through, right? I want to help you overcome whatever it is that you know that you're dealing with right now. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, always remember this: when you're living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.